WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American over here in Germany, often reviewing rare and exotic whiskeys. Looky here, Old Forester King Ranch, Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey, Texas only. Now, I'll tell you a little bit about the bottle. I'll tell you a little bit about the story how I got this bottle, and then I'll review this a little bit. It says here, a proprietary batch using heavily charred barrels filtered through King Ranch Mesquite charcoal. 52.5% ABV. In Texas, 70 to 80 euros. Outside of Texas on the secondary market, anywhere between 130 and 150 euros often, which is way too much in my opinion, but hey. Now, King Ranch. I didn't know about King Ranch. I'm so sorry. I'm not a Texan. I've been to Texas. Half my family lives in Texas, but okay, I'm over here in Germany. So I'm the guy over here in Germany, but hey, who knows? So the press release says available only in Texas starting November 1st, 2022. This marks the first iteration of the limited edition expression that celebrates the rich history of the Brown family of Brown-Forman and descendants of King Ranch founder Richard King. Wow. Now, the Brown family has 7 generations of whiskey making credentials. The King Ranch family celebrates 8 generations of ranching. And so combined, they have 300 years of uniquely American history. In addition, the two brands are connected via the Kentucky Derby. Old Forester bourbon is the key ingredient in every minted julep sold at Churchill Downs. I thought it was Woodford Reserve. Okay, good. And King Ranch owned 3 Derby winners, including, listen to the date, 1946. That's a long time ago. Triple Crown winner Assault. Whew. Bottled at 105 proof from a proprietary batch of Old Forester bourbon. Using these heavily charred barrels, the bourbon finished through King Ranch Mesquite charcoal. The charcoal is created from mesquite trees harvested from the ranch, and the process brings a touch of Texas and helps highlight the bold flavor notes in this new bourbon. All right, enough of the press release. How did I get the bottle? Now, there was a soldier over here in southern Germany, and he had a nice little whiskey collection. And when he actually went back to the States, he could not bring back to the States open bottles. So he had to get rid of his open bottle collection. And I generously offered to buy those bottles from him, do bottle shares, and actually help the bourbon community here in Germany actually experience products they would never ever have had otherwise. And therefore, I would never have seen this bottle had it not been for, thank you very much. I'm not going to name your name, but you know who you are, all right? So what am I going to compare this to? I'm going to compare this to a 1897 Old Forester bottled bond, 50%, 52.5, 50% here. This just hit Germany for a very, very short couple hours, was sold out almost immediately. My bottle, this is what it's left of my bottle. I did a bottle share, so I made 14 people very happy and giving them a set of the 1870, 1897, and 1920. And selling it to them and bottling it just 5 CL. I can do this. That's great over in Germany. Send the products over with them just in the mail, and we get to do bottle shares. That's fabulous. Across state lines in Germany even, no problem. Totally different system than America. But I have a license for importing and selling whiskey anyway, so I'm safe. All right, so this was 75 euros. I actually did a bottle share of this for 85 euros. Now, I only had half or a third of the bottle left, but still it's nice. And I'm going to fill up the last little bit here for one of my the persons that bought the last sample. And I need to do a video real quick. On the nose, it's actually nice. Brown sugar, clove, cinnamon. There is a little bit of a funkiness, almost in cardamom. An exotic spice going on in there. Very spicy. Very different from a normal Old Forester moment. We have the Old Forester 86 over here. We have the Old Forester 100 proof over here. And that's about it. So every once in a while you can get the whiskey Rose series, even though I have one. I just bought a bottle on secondary market of 1924. 1910 I brought from the States back over here. Anything for the 117 series, haven't seen ever over here. Birthday batch, come on, nope. So we can't even get that outside of Kentucky normally. So I do remember being at the old Forester Distillery 2 years ago, being waiting for my tour, being in the bar, and it was like a flight of no, what was it? I could have done a flight of old Forester birthday bourbon, and she would have actually done for me. It was like a 4 ounce pour, and she said I can give you 1 ounce of four difference. And it was still $120 for. I almost broke down and did it. I didn't, and maybe it's one of the things I regret, but very nice people, great tour. One of the best tours in Louisville itself, I think. Especially you see the mini cooperage they have up there. Great thing. Yes, if you're in Louisville, Rabbit Hole, great. Angel's Envy, good. So let's say that. Peerless, great. Old Forester, great. I'm sure I'm forgetting a few that are still there in Louisville itself. Of course, here, Michter's. If you can get in to Nelson's Fort, I didn't book in advance. I even used my connections of the German brand ambassador 2 weeks before to say, hey, could you kind of help me get in? She said, sorry, Jason, I can't pull strings within 2 weeks. 2 months ago, maybe, but 2 weeks in advance, no. It's just like, wow, okay, good. Let's try these. Cheers. That does not taste Old Forester like. It might be the heavily charred barrels. Don't think so. It gets industrial. It gets bitey. There's heat. The 52.5% is hotter, in my opinion, than the 1920 with 57.5%. This has some youth in there. And what's missing totally is the sweetness. Now, there's a site called, I'm going to call them out here, the bourbonculture.com. Great site. Like it. All right. And they talked about the Old Forester King Ranch Bourbon Review. And they mentioned here seeing the TTB label being leaked of this, and we're going, that's a gimmick. And then he was like, wait a second. The Old Forester Statesman was a gimmick as well. And it was, okay, good. And then he reviewed this, and he says something here that I thought was very, very interesting. And I'm just going to read his tasting notes because I can agree with most of what he says here. He says, initially, I think it's a he, I'm sorry, a nice toffee note greets my taste bud. There are even lighter fruit flavors like orchard and stone fruits, but they're hard to find outside of old leather and the spice equivalent to catching an uncrushed peppercorn in between your teeth that the pepper mill failed to grind. There's something really weird going on here. I don't know quite how to describe it, but the oak and wood varnish notes I typically find with Old Forester products seem to have vanished. Instead, it is replaced by wood notes typically presented in non-peated scotch that has been aged in an ex-bourbon barrel. The wood note isn't robust or mellow as much as it is sharp and bitey. I'm almost sure there's fruit of the mesquite charcoal interaction. I'm almost sure it's the fault of the mesquite charcoal's interaction, but it's strange and seems to reduce the sweet notes of the overall dram by 50%. The sweetness is gone, even on the finish here. And there's burnt oak, there's the industrial alcohol moment going on here. For me, it's like they took the two exits too early and landed up in an industrial complex and not in the heart of urban country. Wow. Now, I should have here Wild Turkey, Long Branch, Mesquite. charcoal filtration. I don't. All right, so I just have this. I don't have a bottle here. I just wanted to do the review. It would have been very interesting to put those head to head and see what happened. So have you done that? Which one is better? This bottle, 70 to 80 euros, or 70 $80, 150 in some places, compared to, I can get a 1 liter bottle of Long Branch for 40 euros. I don't know what the price is in America. Much, much, much cheaper. I did not like that either. I remember comparing it to the standard 101. It's like, the 101 is so much better. This is not just my wheelhouse. This is actually a C to C minus. 70 to $80, it's a D. And if you're paying secondary market prices, $150, it's an F. I can't recommend this whiskey. I'm so sorry. I can't hardly find anyone online that recommends this whiskey. Everyone that's tried it was like, this is weird, this is different, this is not good. Give me the normal Old Forester and it's much, much better. And I have to admit, I agree. So just going over here to the Bottle and Bond. So much better. So much more thickness, viscosity. Non-chilled filtered. Filtered mesquite. The wood, the brown sugar, the clove, and the spice, all the allspice just all interact perfectly here. This is one of the best sipping whiskeys I know out there, if you can find it and if it's a good price. So, what do you think about these mesquite wood interactions? I know there's some distilleries that have used mesquite wood to actually smoke their barley. Have you tried it? There's 1 or 2 places that actually use mesquite staves or cubes, interact with the cask, the wood with this. So, and we have the mesquite charcoal, Long Branch. Who else? Where else do we have mesquite? Now, if we go over to Balcones, we go to Brimstone. They use scrub oak, different, not the same, but similar process. What other things are using interesting woods to actually interact with our bourbons? Thank you very much for watching, liking, subscribing. See you real soon. Don't forget to tell other people about this crazy guy over here in Germany tasting a lot of weird and interesting whiskeys, I hope. All the best. See you soon. Bye-bye.